Welcome to the magical mystery Tensegrity Table. I built this thing a while back and people have asked about it from some of the videos we've put together. It may not be the most practical thing for the backcountry, but around a campsite it gets a lot of questions. Some people have seen it on the videos like I said and have asked about it, so I thought I'd do a quick video about the magical mystery Tensegrity Table. It's not magic, it's simply a clever configuration of materials in compression and tension that work together in harmony. It may seem counterintuitive because this is a table that is held together by string, but in reality it's just a combination of materials and mechanical engineering. So tensegrity is a combination of the words tensional and integrity. It was first used by Buckminster Fuller back in the early 1960s, and he was an architect that did really cool things. So the way this table operates is pretty darn nifty. So we have the table top, the table bottom, and then we have these two angled support beams or arms. And these angled supports, these supply the compression strength for the table, because string is lousy in compression, great in tension, lousy in compression. And so if you weren't to use wood, you could use steel, aluminum, anything that likes compression type forces. And they're not together at all. They're completely separate, and they're only held by this tiny little bit of string, and that string is in tension. So the weight of the table is pulling down on this string, creating tension. We also have these three string legs, if you will, and these string legs, their whole job is to provide tension to keep the tabletop from sloping or dipping. These supply the tension necessary to keep this top plane nice and level. It's magic. So this table I made from scraps and bits and bobs that I had laying around the barn. The top and bottom frames are made from some scrap 2x2s. Had some thin plywood that we used in the trailer build that we used for a top, and some strings. It was really that easy.
What do you think?
Nifty. The hardest thing about this entire build was making sure that these outside leg strings, I guess you would call them, had the same amount of tension to make sure that the tabletop rests smooth and flat and plumb. To do that, we just use a top line hitch because it's easy to adjust. And I'll show you what happens when it gets out of whack. Kaboom! But to fix it, all I need to do is tighten this top line. Come on. Come on. And it helps if it's not freezing cold and your fingers are numb. There we go. And back together. So the top line hitch. Same hitch that I use for setting up tents in camp. Never thought that it'd help me make an end table. As you can see, one of the nifty things about this table is that it has some lateral motion, and that's what really makes it kind of cool. It's floating, it's levitating, but it's still very, very strong on the up and down, or for vertical. Here comes the snow again. So very strong this way. It has a little bit of movement laterally. Kind of nifty, I think. If you think that this table is nifty, then you'll be very interested to know that NASA is designing planetary lander vehicle things that use the same tensegrity architecture. So that's kind of cool. Outside of space and architecture, you can also find tensegrity structures in us, in you. Think of the bones, like this wood, like these wood members. They function very well in compressive forces, with compressive forces. And then think of our tendons and ligaments and muscles. And those are like these strings that operate in tension. So tensegrity stuff is really all around us, not just the coolest table in the world. It's a magic new camping table. Well, I hope you enjoyed our Tensegrity table and our departure from our normally scheduled trail riding and horse camping and packing information. For more practical information about trailhead camping, backcountry camping, and trail riding, give us a visit at trailmeister.com. It's also the largest guide to horse trails and camps in the world. And until next time, happy trails. I'm going to play at the table.